abandonment. I was watching all this. And then I looked up out of me living in Bayview for 15 years, it was nothing but yellow tape. It was one of our brothers being murdered, if not every day, every other day. And as time went on, I started the years, it was always, the cover up, the fire department's coming and hurrying up and cleaning off the blood off the streets. And so they wouldn't, because they didn't want people to really know what was actually going on. And they wanted the T train to continue to move and not, not to cease, keep it moving. And I seen that done. I seen the police stand by there and say, and kind of giggle like, yeah, that's another nigga taken out. He deserved it. And things like that. And I was like, it began to put a toll on me. It really did. As time on, the joy that I used to have, oh, I love being around my people. It got to be depressing. But I never left. I never left the community. I never left their side. And then I'm moving on, and then my son ended up being murdered, and it happened to me in 2015, and so it happened to me just as well. And so this is my story. And then I had ran previously for the Board of Supervisors. Sophie Maxwell was in office the last time, her term. I actually ran before, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, it wasn't because of my son that I ran. It was because I had the ability to run and I had no attachments. I was free. I had my own business. I didn't work anyone's 9 to 5, no one's organizations. And I had a mind that I felt was intelligent enough to run because what I did when my daughter was born is that I wanted to be a stay at home mom. And so what I did was while I was a stay at home mom, and my daughter was in school, I would go to different organizations and learn how board of directors work. I studied that, and then I learned that there was presidents. I learned that there was vice presidents. I learned that there was secretaries. I learned that there was treasurers. And I actually learned by going to different meetings over the years of how nonprofit works and how they have board of directors that runs the organization and how it is all done. And then I would attend so many of the board of supervisors meetings just by myself. Everyone, you've been watching me, always by myself, because it was just something in me that did this. It wasn't like anyone was paying me. I was volunteering. All this is volunteer because I would always take the time and get to know so many of you, and I would talk to you for a half an hour and an hour. And then I built relationships with so many of my people in San Francisco, all across the board. I didn't just start in Bayview. I lived over in the Western Addition, um, Fillmore area on McAllister across the street from Amos Brown. But my first neighborhood that I lived in, and someone asked me, a reporter, the local mission, she asked me, where am I from? What was the first community that I lived in? The first community that I lived in was Pacific Heights. I didn't live in the disenfranchised community. When I came here almost 30 years ago, my neighborhood was Jackson Street in Pacific Heights. And a lot of times you can over judge and not knowing who you're judging or giving impressions that because we have this color skin that everyone has to be in poverty. Now, what do I mean by being in poverty? Poverty doesn't mean how much money you have in your pocket. Poverty and being poor has to do with the knowledge that you have in your mind. If you don't have knowledge, even though I didn't have much money, every one of you knew that. But I wasn't in poverty here. I wasn't poor in my mind because I was always trying to tell you all, come on, let's do this. Let's take a stand for our people. We don't have to be treated this way. We don't have to be abused. We don't have to be neglected. We don't have to be. I was pleading with you like the Lone Ranger, pleading with you. Let's change 3rd Street to Harriet Tubman Boulevard. I had came from Fillmore on the bus passing out flyers. Well, if you don't want to change it to Harriet Tubman Boulevard, let's change it to whoever you want to change it to. But let's do something. Before I knew that we were going to be moved out of Bayview and then all others would come, I was coming to you over 30. You know who you are. And you, many of you were like, we would talk, or many of you would probably go laugh and say, oh, that girl is crazy or whatever. You can have your opinion to whatever you thought. But as you now see, I was speaking the truth. And now you're going to look up and you are going to be moved out. There is no affordable housing in San Francisco. The Chronicle asked me that, or put in the newspaper. It was in the newspaper. They said the last one out last week said that I said that there was no such thing as affordable housing, and then it said in the article that they're lying to you and said it was an outburst. Well, if you want to continue to be lied to, be my guest. The Chronicle didn't speak anything of solutions myself gave. They only brought out that I said there is no such thing as affordable housing. And they didn't even say I said San Francisco. But they made it the point to say, and they're lying to you. That's right. This whole political system, especially District 10 supervisor race, was a scam. It was rigged, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not coming to you rah, rah, rah. I'm not giving anyone else any more of that energy. Those days is over for me. If you don't hear my voice in this gentleness, you will never hear it. I used to raise my voice because I felt I wasn't being heard. Because if I'm not coming to you, cursing you out like a lot of brothers do, see, and sisters do, they call you all kinds of bees, and you hear bees. You hear all other names, but you don't hear anyone coming to you gently because you're not used to gently. You're used to drama. So I would come to you with rah, rah, rah drama, and I still wasn't heard. So I'm 55 years old. When I was coming to you in my 20s, I wasn't heard. I was coming to you in my 30s, I wasn't heard. I was coming to you in my 40s, I wasn't heard. And now I'm in the middle of my 50s, have sacrificed my life to my people. And I ran for a whole year, the board, and I'm thankful for everyone who supported, but I can count on my hand who gave me $20. I can count on my hand who gave me $20. I got absolutely hardly no support. But I want to I'm going to give those who I'm going to give a shout out to who gave, because you mean much to me. Mainly, me and my companion funded this campaign. I asked the people, I said, if you love me, out of 1 year, donate $20. Y'all didn't give me $5. You didn't give me 2. You didn't give me 50 cents. But I fought a good race. And I fought it lawfully and clean. I called it as I saw it. And I brought transparency. As I said, I'm not a political person. I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother, and I'm a friend to the people. And I love Yahweh Elohim, my Hebrew creator. And I'm a friend to Yahweh Elohim. So I was obedient, and I ran for a reason, and I don't regret it, because life is a journey. And this was a beautiful journey because I was grieving concerning my son, and it was so much healing in this because it was a challenge. So I want to acknowledge Mo Better Entertainment, LaRon Mayfield. He helped pay for the last box of flyers. I want to give a shout out to Joylene, one of my senior friends. She helped me with the box of flyers, this last box of flyers. I want to thank Sean Richardson, Brothers Against Guns. He bought the third box of flyers for me. I want to thank Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams, Ruth Williams, Bayview Opera House. He gave a contribution. I want to thank Francisco de Casca. He was the one gave a payment to help me get the first box of flyers. Francisco de Casca. I want to thank Andrew King. Andrew King helped myself to really do a lot. He was the main one that gave the most, was Andrew King. I want to thank Libra Shepherd and Paulette Alton for help putting on my first fundraiser. I made $10 from that fundraiser, but the fact that they gave it, I appreciate it. Reverend King from Caltran, he gave a funding for that evening. X that after the food that I paid and fed all the people. Yes, I did. That I bought out of my personal pocket. I don't want to leave anyone out. It's getting close to that time. I don't want to leave anyone out. And Wanda Whitaker, she made a small contribution. The artist, I'm thankful for her. And Shonda Mayfield and Kareem Mayfield, hard hitter, they contributed, might help me out. The wife of hard hitter and Essential Hair Salon over on San Jose. That's my girl. Let's see. My daughter Takia Chandler, she was a help financially. So it was a family affair. And so that's who basically helped me, was my family, besides the ones who I shared. I want to end with this. This race was beautiful because I was in it. But it was rigged. Anyone, go on my Facebook. I give you the details of what happened. Is the show there for half an hour that told. I don't want to go any further with it because I'm not about dropping names. That's not how I operate. I speak it the truth and I do it generally, but I don't drop names. I'm not a politician. A lot of politicians drop names, but I did say some things as far as I felt that it should be, how can I say it, a disqualification. I have reasons why I feel that there's a candidate that should be disqualified from the race, but I'm not going to bring that out. What I want to talk about, because I only have a few minutes, this is the media. This is the San Francisco Weekly and the Chronicle. Right here, all the men candidates at the beginning of the race. This is where are the women? It's 3 women that ran this race. Where are the women? This was done in June. All men, none of the black women that was in the race. This was done 2 weeks ago from the Chronicle. All men, I don't know if you can see it. All men, none of the women, none of us women were in any media coverage. Unless we walk on every doors or do it ourselves, no one knows we're running. They didn't put us in the media coverage. Look at these beautiful 3 women. 3 beautiful women. Myself ran because the murder of my son, Yalani Chinyamarinde. Gloria Berry ran because of the Navy shipyard and what was going on, and hers is pro-education. Yazari Peace Green ran because of wanting to show the children that if you live in the housing development, she live in Potrero, that you can also run, because someone told her that because she lived in Potrero, she couldn't run. These 3 women, not one of us was put in any of the newspapers for media coverage. And one of the friends of mine asked a candidate why. And they said because we didn't raise any money. So because we didn't raise any by the thousands to be corrupted, couldn't be bought, they felt that we didn't need media coverage. So therefore, what we stood for and the values that we stood for, it meant absolutely nothing. Women and black women, I say black women because there's three here. We are the most devalued out of all the races, genders in the United States of America. All of our children is being murdered for decades, and we were never put on the map. We never had anyone to open up the doors and grieve with us. It was the norm for us, for our children to be murdered. It didn't matter because we were black women. We wasn't important, and neither was our children important. It wasn't visuals traveling all around the United States of America when all our children were murdered. No one spoke a word. Didn't feel the presence of the country grieving. And then here, three women decided to run because of what was going on in a disenfranchised community. Is it? Okay.